Alright everybody, this is BrickBuilder here, and welcome back to a brand new series. This is going to be Let's Build, and how it works is going to be we're going to have a couple different seasons where we build different things. But I want to start off with building a desert village, so we kind of got to dive right on into it, and I think in this episode we are going to be making some marketplace or some form of area, such as a place where products would be sold and purchased. And we need to decide what color we want this village to be. And since we're playing at 1.12, they have changed some of the colors of the wool. So I'm kind of feeling like this orange could be really fun to play around with. So I think we're going to use orange as the color for that sort of thing. And we do have a world here where it's only desert. We do have tons of water though, as you can see, which I kind of think is cool because it gives us some like location boundaries and stuff, which I think is really helpful for the way we're going to be doing this. But we're going to be doing some building, and we got to get these resources that we're going to need. So we're planning creative mode down here. Maybe we could take advantage of this. I don't know. But I want to put the marketplace up here, I'm thinking. So we're just going to kind of start with just laying down some framework here of these things. Now, I don't want them to have an exact structure. I kind of feel like that can ruin them. So I really don't want to give them any form of a structure. I just kind of want them to be like free-flowing and very just, you know, abstract in a way with the shape form. I don't want them to be too similar in shape, but I also don't want them to be too different either in size, just because we want marketplaces that look similar, so as the town kind of keeps a whole like united feel with the architectural style here. But I think we're going to be trying to, you know, do something like that. I think those three there definitely look pretty nice. I'm thinking for sure. I definitely want to get rid of some of the sand over here though, for sure. I'm pretty certain I definitely want to get removed this stuff. You know, we don't want this stuff here, just because that'd be too much sand. I think we need to, you know, keep some space here. And I'm thinking maybe we could even throw another one over here. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. That probably would not be smart. So now what I'm thinking is, I don't really want, do we do birch? Do we do birch? I think we can do birch, yeah. Alright. The only thing I'm afraid about is if we do birch, it might be too similar to the sand and like color. So yeah, now throughout the series you guys will kind of learn how to better build a desert style and kind of like what goes into planning a village in Minecraft, because that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. And yeah, so there we go. We kind of got these market stalls. They have a pretty nice shape. I kind of enjoy the shape that these guys have right here, because they're very abstract. They're very, I wouldn't say simplistic, but they're very freeform, and they're not very like boxy or structured, which definitely can work well if you use it properly in your build. So yeah, and now we're definitely going to want to try to give these things some form of inside area here, but I don't really want to change the floor, because I want these to kind of be more like stalls. So to do that, but since there's going to be people who, you know, come in here every single day, theoretically, lore-wise, and we're, you know, would sell products, if we throw sandstone in here, it gives the appearance as if the sand has been packed down. Very simplistic change to the inside of these things, but, you know, sometimes it's the little details that can really bring out better quality in your builds. So I think it's definitely awesome that we added this little thing in here, you know, just a little simplistic sandstone. And even something as simple as upside down stairs can really help give us the different texture variation which we want in a build. We could do it like this, I guess, but we don't really want to do that. I'm thinking we want to go more of the bottom of the stairs, so we get this sort of sandstone like the side of it, but vertical. That's kind of what we want. So yeah, alright. Now we've got to be working on getting somehow we're gonna need to get a roofing on this. So I don't really know how roofing is gonna work, because roofing is gonna be pretty difficult, I think, to get on this while it's still looking decent. But we'll have to see what we can come up with. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna experiment with this one over here, just because this stall here is easily the smallest of them, which will definitely make this somewhat easier. We're definitely gonna want 4 of these. So now we were just to combine these here, we could just do something like that, yes. But I really want this to be like a multi-leveled sort of feeling. So not everything's going to be on the same, you know, height, because I think that'll give us a bit more detail, which is kind of what we're looking for. In this style here, we really want to go for a kind of big bushy top on this thing. Because if you think about it, again, lore-wise, not that this will make any actual difference, but always, you know, including like lore into your world will definitely help. one thing to keep note of is that the people inside of here would probably get hot often due to the like immense sun. So they'd probably want like a giant covering. And then we're gonna throw up some of these carpets just to give it a slight like depth perception thing. From like a lower distance, you'll notice like this here is slightly taller than that one. Things like that can definitely help. And I think we're just gonna go for the same style over here. Honestly, I think it could really work. So we're gonna do that. And again, we want to connect all of these as best we can. Obviously, it's not gonna be like an exact shape or whatever, but we're doing our best. So we'll do that, and then right up here we're gonna make this area go up. We also need it to come down again, so maybe what we'll do is like over here we can make it come down. We could do something like that. That could definitely work. We need a pillar over here though, although maybe not there. Maybe there could work, because we don't want them to be in like the same spot, because then it's gonna be sort of obvious what we're doing. You know, we got to give it the creative vibe, I guess you could say. And I think what we do is we might even raise it there yet again. I think that could definitely work, you know. I'm down for that. And then we throw a ton of the carpets on top. The thing is, you don't want to overdo the carpets, because if you put too many like too close to each other, you won't really notice a difference. So there's that one. That one definitely works, I would say. Maybe we throw something like that there. Yeah. The stalls are definitely working and looking a lot better. And also, we have disabled the daylight cycle on here just so we can control when we want things to be nighttime, when we want it to be daytime, because as we know, lighting is also a pretty big thing for builders to focus on. When you're building a build, it's kind of crucial that your lighting is pretty good, because you know you need to be able to see your build. But in addition to having the aesthetics of lighting look good, you also got to remember that there are hostile mobs that you got to look out for if you're building in a survival setting. So you got to do that as well. But we'll do something like that. That could be pretty nice, I'm thinking. Maybe we could even connect that there. Yes. And then we could throw a ton of these up at the top like that. I think that definitely works pretty nice. So yeah, that definitely works. There we go. I think these tents are looking pretty nice already. These tents are market like stalls are looking pretty nice already, but we're not done yet. So we're gonna remove all of this stuff because we don't really need this in our hotbar at the moment. Next thing we're definitely gonna want is we just want the birch stair. Now, this is a very simple thing, but this is more for the inside. Is we want to have an area where like there's like a table style something. This is just a very simple thing to do, but we definitely need it. So we'll throw one there, and then we'll throw one here. And the reason why we're doing this is for a couple of reasons. And then next, I want some granite right now. This is just more of a temporary thing, just to say, okay, that's where the entrance is on this one, that's where the entrance is on this one, and that's where the entrance is on this one. And that granite is so later on we can add roads, which I'm not sure if we'll be doing in this episode or not, but I feel like we could probably handle adding roads if we wanted to. But now we gotta do lighting, and so the options for lighting are somewhat limited in Minecraft, but there are some pretty good options that we can do and, you know, survive with. So yeah, there we go. We got all of the different lighting options for the most part. Now we're gonna do time set night. So as you can see, it gets a lot darker, although we want it to get really dark, so we're gonna go for something like that. That's probably as dark as we're gonna get it. That would make it daytime. We don't want that. We definitely don't want it to be daytime. That'd be terrible. And let's go just back to the, there we go, 20,000. That works. Boom. So now it's nighttime. We got to kind of figure out what we want to do for lighting. Now, one thing we could do is we could hide lighting down there, but that doesn't really give us much light at all, as you can kind of see. It really gets kind of restricted unless we were to do a block here, but it's still kind of, you know, it really blocks everything off. We don't want our lighting like that because that doesn't work. But we can't just make our lighting, you know, like go like this, because that also will look terrible, and we don't want terrible looking lighting. So we need to try to hide the lighting as best we can. There's a couple ways we could do that. That's one that some people do, but again, the light is really just more of an aesthetic in that case, because you can still see everything, you know. So like we need to be careful here with lighting, because we need it to actually work, but we also need it to look pretty nice. And there are a couple different ways we can do this, and I think I have a pretty good idea for a way we're going to actually be able to do this. So what we're going to need is we're going to go for fences. And we're going to do these all around the village, so it'll look pretty awesome when we're done. For now, they might look a bit out of place, but essentially what we're doing is we're making a form of a street light, but it's more of a tiki torch style. Now, this does not work with every style of build, obviously, but it definitely looks very nice in a desert setting, in my personal opinion, because tiki torches do sort of flow with the whole theme. And obviously this village is going to have more than just a marketplace. You know, we're going to have a temple area. We're going to have like a pyramid, obviously, like village, like houses, I guess you could call them. But now next, what we need to do is first we're going to reset the time back to the morning, because we like the light, you know, when we're not playing around with lighting. We want it to be full-blown bright. Now we need to quickly add a little bit more sand to the edge here, because we definitely need a bit of a more like space here, more flat area here. So yeah, boom. And we'll do something like that. Looks pretty nice if you ask me. Right there with that. It is a little bit on the like straight line side, which is something you generally want to stray away from when you're doing terraforming, just because if it gets too straight, it's gonna look terrible. But it will also look terrible if you you need to make it look natural. There we go. So what we want to do for the pathing here is I would like to try. I don't know if this is gonna work, but these endstone bricks, they sort of flow, but at the same time they don't. And I kind of like the off yellow tone that they have, because it makes it so it's noticeable enough, but it's only noticeable just enough, you know? That's kind of what we're looking for. We don't want something super obvious in the ground. We don't want something that, you know, you can't notice either. You need to be able to tell. And obviously these roads are more of a suggestion than something you actually have to follow, because, I mean, let's be honest. Do you always follow the stone paths that were set? No. But it's just more of a, for decoration purposes, I would say. We'll do something like that, I would say, yes. And there we go. So we got like this nice little area down here, you know, nice little path if you ask me. And then obviously we just got a couple different things we can do for touch-up inside of here. We can scatter around some chests, so some large ones, some small ones, you know, all just thrown around here, just to give them the idea that these places are full of things. And then just for lore purposes, because, you know, why not? We could totally throw some items into these, so if, you know, anybody ever was to check out the world or something, they would actually find items here. So what we'll do is we'll just take some diamonds, some gold, some emeralds, because, you know, emerald creeper hype, and some iron. And what we'll do is we're going to throw some of these resources just randomly in these chests. Now, as long as we keep it random, it'll look good. But the second that we, like, start making it too systematic, people will kind of be able to see right through that, and it'll look terrible, and we don't want that. So we're going to throw all of this in there. Boom, that's a pretty good chest right there. That player, whoever, you know, pillages these are going to be very lucky. And I'm not sure what you guys think, but would you guys like to see a sphinx or something of that nature added in here? I'm not really sure what kind of architectural style I kind of want to go with yet. So I'm not sure if we're going to make Egypt be a large, I guess, impact on the build. It's not going to most likely impact the village too much. But a sphinx could kind of really work with the build, I think. So we might want to try that. And there we go. We'll just throw a little bit more in there. We got some stuff like that. And there we go. Boom. That's also a pretty full chest in comparison to some of the other ones. But that's all right. So maybe these marketplaces, maybe this is where they keep their resources, which honestly would not be a smart idea to keep your resources that you, like your profits, in public chests that pretty much anybody can open. But you know what? That's not exactly my problem. That's these villagers' problems, I guess. And we're not going to throw any actual villagers into the build, just because it doesn't really work out well. They don't really have good AI to be able to follow these roads that I set for them and, you know, actually perform tasks like they're supposed to. It would be cool if we could get them to actually trade stuff and all. But we just can't do that. It's not within Minecraft's, you know, feasibility. It just doesn't make sense, and I don't think it would really fit into the game either, so I'm kind of okay with them not having that. Boom. But I think there's our marketplace for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next episode of Let's Build. Bye!